Weather to be here this morning. I'd like to welcome you to the February 3rd, 2022 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. A roll call, please.
Mr. Margaret. Mr. Margaret?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Mr. Perez?
Here.
Yeah. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
No. Approval of the minutes of the meeting of January 27th, 2022. I would recommend that we defer the reading of those minutes. Oh. What?
I concur.
Okay. Bid opening, mill patch and HMA resurfacing of 165th Street from Columbia Avenue to Summer Street. First bid is from Millstone Contractors North Incorporated, Griffith, Indiana. Okay, we got the bid proposal. Bid bond. Form 96 and the non-collusion affidavit. In Millstone Contractors North, bid price is $1,594,641.83. Anyone need it? $1,594,641.83.
Is that the base bid or the?
Total amount of the base bid. Second bid will be from Reith Riley Construction, Gary, Indiana. Our bid proposal. Have our bid bond. Form 96. Come on. It's gonna make me. And our non-collusion affidavit, and the total amount of the base bid from Reith Riley is $1,618,210.55. Again, $1,618,210.55. That would be Reith Riley. Mr. Button?
Mr. President, good morning to the board. I would ask that you refer this to engineering and the engineer for review and tabulation. We need to try to get this bid awarded and approved by NDOT before March 4th, so I appreciate the board's consideration on that. Thank you.
Understood. I'll recommend that we submit these bid packages to engineering for evaluation and tabulation.
I concur.
Millstone and Reith Riley. Matters from department heads or their representatives. Mr. Gordish.
Good morning. Really quick, Hammond Avenue for the West Lake, this was approved on 12/23/21. It is the overhead lines they are raising to go over the bridge on Hammond. So between Sibley and Michigan, Hammond will be closed. It was supposed to be done this week, just for the bridge. So it's a day closure for next week. So they pushed it back a week. But this was already approved in December for the West Lake, to raise the wires.
And so the total bridge will be shut down for,
Just 5 days. It should be less than 5 days, but it's just working hours. So I just wanted to present that to the board, and
so when you say working hours, you're saying after their workday, then the bridge?
they're going to open it back
accessible?
up.
Okay,
Is they're hanging the wires across the bridge, and these are very high.
okay,
So,
got it.
thank you.
Thank you. That was Holman Bridge. Okay. Item A, correspondence received from Beam Longest Neff requesting the approval of the agreement for professional services for the Little Calumet River Trail pedestrian bridge.
Good morning again to the board. Yeah, this is the agreement with Gary Up Construction for a project that was open a few weeks ago. Gary Up was the low responsive and responsible bidder. Gary Up's pre-qualified to do bridge work. The funding for this project has been previously approved by Mayor McDermott and the city controller, $5 million set aside from American Rescue Plan money, so that's already been approved. And then the basic balance is from a grant from the Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission. So we would ask your approval today of the agreement.
Is this something that legal, Mr.
Yeah,
Smith, or?
I have reviewed with Attorney Kevin Smith. I see he's online.
Okay.
I talked to him about it, and he's happy that we move forward with this particular agreement.
Okay.
It's a standard agreement, no.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Okay, I'll recommend to approve the agreement for professional services with Beam Longest and Neff.
No, it's the agreement with...
Well, Gary Up?
Yes, sir.
Gary Up.
Yes, sir. That's just the cover letter from Beam.
Got it. I'll take that back, and I'll recommend that we approve the agreement with Gary Up Construction.
I concur.
Okay. Item B, correspondence received from Director of City Planning Brian Poland requesting the approval of the application for approval of a subdivision in the city of Hammond, Forsyth Square addition to the city of Hammond.
I can help out if the board has any questions. Just in review, this was an area that was contained within the right-of-way at 119th between, I think it's Warwick and Forsyth Square. On the south side of 119, it was open space, it was green space. The city council had vacated a segment of right-of-way that contained the park area, and we are now seeking that to eventually become a permanent park space. And so this action helps the process to move forward, and we're asking you to approve the plat that shows the dedicated property that will become park.
Okay.
And I'll answer any questions that you have.
No, that's fine, Dean. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I will recommend to approve the plot of subdivision from Brian Poland.
I concur.
Matters from board members.
So,
You need some sleep, right?
oh, that could be helpful. That's kind of going to follow you.
All right. New business. Item A, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 7449 Parish Avenue.
Happy to report that this property, after being on the demolition list for almost 2 years, it was bought, purchased, and rehabbed, and a great addition to that neighborhood.
All right, thank you, Council.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure that we approve that order to rescind contingent upon the current owner paying the costs associated with the findings and order. And we've been working through that with Ms. Valentine and Mr. Attorney's office.
Kevin, my understanding that has been paid.
Okay, perfect, Kelly. I didn't see that, then it's good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I will recommend that we do away with the order to rescind and release the order to demolish property located at 7449 Parish Avenue.
I concur.
Scratch that off. Item B, right-of-way permit 1, submitted for approval from Engineering Department.
Yes, this right-of-way permit is for NIPSCO for a 128th Street substation circuit. They will be starting at the end of the month. This is a big one. So basically, it's about 125 poles, replacement transformers, and everything else. There is going to be just restrictions on a street. A portion goes through the alley, so there'll probably be a rolling closure, which I'll definitely make sure they deal with the street department for garbage pickup, so forth. So I would recommend approval. And also, we are going to meet with them and discuss this further, but I've reviewed the plans.
And you're comfortable?
Comfortable.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. I will recommend to approve the right-of-way permit submitted from the Engineering Department.
I concur.
Item C, rental registration for the properties located at 2826 Janet Place, 1232 177th Place, and 1154 Michigan Avenue.
You need to speak first for a second.
Which one? Oh, Janet Place, 2026 Janet Place?
All three are mine, sir.
Oh, okay.
So President and Board, I just want to plead ignorance here. I'm new in a property management position. I've been in food service my whole life and was just informed that we had to pay by April 15th. Did not know the entire law. We've already paid for 20 to 25 rentals this year for 2022. So I'm just asking for forgiveness at this point to see what we can do to help with the fine.
These are for when, Nick?
These are for-
Last year?
Yeah, these are for 2021. All three properties were purchased after the deadline of last year. However, they all had tenants in them already. Some of the tenants were inherited, some of them were placed or found within, and they had 30 days of rental income from that. So if you purchase a property and you have a tenant, and there's at least 30 days worth of collection, it's got to get registered for that year.
Only one of
So-
them, sorry to interrupt, only one had a tenant, that was Janet Place. The other two were tenants
Found
through
afterwards,
us.
right. So Janet Place, they purchased on September 15th of '21. The readings from Water Department indicate consistent usage, September, October, November, December. And then next was the 177th Place. They purchased July 13th of '21. September, October, November had consistent usage, and then a tenant signed up for service November 3rd of 2021. And the last one on Michigan, this is the one the Water Department has an issue with currently because they still don't have anybody who has signed up for the service, so they've been estimating the bills. So you
We
make sure-
just paid one under the old owner, under Ramos, so I just paid a bill on that property. And I'm still working with the tenant to get it in her name.
So you have more than these three properties, correct?
I have about 25 of them. Like I said, I've already paid for 20 of them for this year, the $10 fee.
Did you have these properties last year? Not these three, but the ones you
No.
speak of?
No,
20?
not as
Or the
rentals.
25?
They were either paid or, I mean, there was no errors on them. They looked through everything that we brought in.
So then how would these have got lost in the shuffle? Just
Like
by
I said,
virtue
I was
of-
new as of June and I didn't know the law. So now, as part of our process, when we purchase a home, I actually have added to our sheet that rental registration needs to be done as soon as a tenant's in there or if there's a tenant existing. So I've changed the process.
far as I'm aware, this is, the first time that they've been late with these properties.
And like I said, it's just ignorance on my part, not knowing all the laws of my new position. And I was only told about making sure I paid by April 15th of this year.
So you're not the owner, but you're the one responsible for making
Correct.
sure that this stuff gets paid?
Yeah, I'm the transaction coordinator, property manager.
Okay, okay. Anything else, Nick?
I just want to make sure that the tenant gets into the water department to sign up for water service on the Michigan Street property. It's been since July, I believe, since they've been attempting to get that taken care of. So they've been estimating bills since then.
Okay, and you can see that gets taken care of, right?
Yes, sir, I can, yes.
Okay, I'm going to waive the late fees for the 3 properties for 2021. You can register all 3 of these at the end of the meeting today. And again, going forward, as someone that's new in this position here, from January 1st to April 15th, every year, whether the city sends you notice or it doesn't, it's still the responsibility of the company to make sure that these things get paid when they're supposed to be paid.
Understood.
Okay?
Thank you.
I concur.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, old business, status 4407 Baltimore.
We did an inspection on this property. The gentleman's living there is without utilities, using the stove for heat. As you can see, the building itself is in pretty deplorable condition. We had asked APS to be on the inspection with us. They did not show. My understanding, he has been to the doctor, has claimed he is fit, but the house is still marked uninhabitable, on the demolition list, but occupied. So I don't know if we have a direction to go.
And I know it's been a problem for a while.
Over a decade.
I've been trying to coordinate with Captain Inuosa and attempting to reach out to various charitable organizations to see what can be done. The problem is the condition of that property is such they don't feel comfortable touching it. It's basically a situation where it would have to be demolished and rebuilt. The property next door is like a care facility for individuals transitioning back into society. And they have been allowing Mr. Torres to sleep or use the facilities there since the bathroom does not have a running bathroom. However, they had to have him taken to the hospital again for a reason as far as like utilizing the bathroom and making it on time. So the hospital has deemed that he has his mental capacities, therefore they can't rule him incapable of caring for himself, and then Adult Protective Services will not step in. So I'm kind of at a hard spot right now because any organization, they're realizing the liability, they take in the cost. There's just, it's a really bad situation.
Well, I mean, just from the city standpoint, this is just me talking. I mean, you can see what the property looks like. If something would happen with him in there, knowing that we've known this for so long.
Yep.
It's just not going to make us look good.
No, my next step would, I'm going to attempt to reach out to some veteran services. He is a
veteran?
military vet, yes, sir. And so we're trying to do everything we can to help him.
Well, I know we are. I mean, I know we are.
Yeah, it's just it's tough. So
So this is status, right, Kelly? You're just bringing us up to speed as
Yes.
the last time we spoke about this?
It'll be brought up in the next demo hearing also. I'm sure the status is coming up on that. I don't know if we'll have anything else to report at that point.
Right.
But it's certainly unsafe for him to be in that house. I just,
Have you spoken with him?
yes, and during the inspection, he was cooperative, coherent.
No, why won't he leave? Just why, because that's all he knows?
That's all he knows. So,
Okay. So how far you want to set this out?
60 days. 60 days. We'll probably have the demo hearing at that point. I'm not sure when the next demo hearing date is.
April 7th? Or wait, yeah, that's Thursday, April 7th?
That's fine.
Right?
In the meantime, we'll be reaching whatever services we can to see what we
Okay.
can do to
Sure.
accommodate.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll recommend that we set this over 4407 Baltimore for status till April 7th.
I concur.
847 117th Street. Anyone here for that? I know they were just here last week, I believe. They signed,
Yeah,
they signed a rehab agreement.
And
did they
that's
not?
my understanding. Kevin may be able to speak out on that ongoing situation. It's the old Rucker Library, and they signed a
Yeah,
rehab
I thought
agreement.
they signed it actually right at the meeting. Thought they did.
Yeah, yeah,
Mr.
they were,
Smith?
Yeah, I think they did at last meeting.
Mr. Sears is the owner. He was here, he was president at that time.
Right.
Yeah. So at this point, we haven't had inspection. I'm not sure where they're at in construction, but it
Well,
was.
maybe that's
it
what
was
he was
grand.
agreeing to. He's signing something so you guys can inspect the property.
And we will be doing that.
Okay. Well, we're probably gonna need another status then, I'm sure, right?
Kevin, that'll probably come up in the next demo hearing.
If we could use that, well, we could probably use that April 7th date. I think, Kelly, if that works for you.
That works for me.
Okay. Okay, I'll recommend that we set 847 117th Street over for status to April 7th, 2022.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, board.
Concur.
Number 10, item C, status on the 90-day trial period for the handicap parking sign in front of the Hammond Optimist Club, 7015 Kennedy Avenue. Wait a minute here.
I haven't heard any objections to the accessible parking space and would support a permanent installation at this location.
Oh, let me read this. This is from Mr. Gleason. Oh, yeah, that was just him. They're agreeing to place a sign at 7015 Kennedy for a 90-day trial. Okay, so it's been the 90 days.
Yeah, this is probably the
Gotta be
90 day,
close.
yeah, and there's been no complaints received, certainly in the engineering department. And we support a permanent, removing the 30-day and making petition for that to be a permanent
Okay.
location or a sign.
Kristen, this is something that has to be approved by the city council, correct?
Yeah, we recommend it.
Okay, because I mean, if the 90 days is up, I mean, I don't think we have,
Is the 90 days up to you?
Yeah, that's why it's up for status.
okay, so we can recommend to forward this to the council for their consideration? Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Button. Okay, I will recommend that we forward the handicap parking sign for the Optimist Club on Kennedy Avenue to the Hammond City Council for their consideration.
I concur.
Okay. Meeting's open to the public? But Antonio Xavier, are you, meeting's open to the public? You wishing to speak?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, how you doing? Here to address, we had a property at 6040 Hammond. We had asked to put a sign for like limited parking hours in front of the building. It was approved years ago, but we're noticing that we still we have parking there every day except between 4 and 6. And we want to see if we can get that sign removed. How do we go about getting it? I know we had to go to this hearing board before to initially get the sign put up. Before, there was no parking at all. And the home itself, the goal is to build more of to revitalize Holman Avenue. But we're right on the edge of Holman in downtown district. We have the old Sawyer College building, you know that property. And it's just, we want to remove the sign, so we park there, between the hour of 4 or 6, we don't have any issues. We park there now intermittently, but I just want to have to be an issue with it.
So, just let me make sure I understand you. We approved a sign to be put up in front of the property on Holman Avenue for limited parking, but now you're asking the board for its removal. Is that right?
Correct. So essentially, the timeline was, we've got the property, there was a sign that said no parking on this side at all. We requested the board to have it adjusted temporarily. You guys, okay, you can park here. It was our suggestion to do 4 to 6, only because the rest of the block is 4 to 6. So now, it looks like the rest of the block is not all 4 to 6, except for us. So, okay, well, let's just let's just go back and just ask the board to move the whole thing, just to be in compliance with the rest of the street.
Okay, understood. Kelly, you got something to say?
Yes, especially on a day like today, having vehicles parked there longer is going to be a hindrance to plowing. At the same time, there's other situations that are going with this property as far as vehicles behind the building, vehicles several lots down, corner of Detroit and Holman, southwest corner. So it's an ongoing situation. Sawyer, the old Sawyer building, and Antonio, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is not open for business. So there's no reason that we should have parking there anyway. There's plenty of parking in the back that is taken up by a lot of vehicles that are not registered. So removing the sign at this point, just because, doesn't make any sense when you're dealing with, especially with snow situations like this. If at the point he's ready to open the building for customer service of some sort, I think that'd be the time to address this. Currently,
To address your concern, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly, we are there. I still hold a state license. So we're an auction house, so I hold a state license auction company. Property is owned by a nonprofit that owns the building. We rent from the nonprofit that's there. The vehicles that are there are ones that were donated to us donated to the nonprofit, and we sell them off to raise money for said nonprofit. You are right in the sense of, yeah, we're not there full time, and we're trying to make an effort to be there. So part of that presence is get going, putting forth, and doing this stuff now. Obviously, it won't be approved today, but that's when we did this go through a process of like 60 days, 90-day process. So we just want to initiate this start the process and discussion of how we get through, so we can, be more in compliance. Obviously, it's free compliance, but because it's not a turnkey, like, I don't put you to say yes, we'll move it. This sounds be done tomorrow. I don't. I know that even if you did say yes today, I still, or someone has to go to do sanitation, had to remove it. I can't legally move the sign. At least I don't think I can.
So, Kelly, are you saying that if the sign's removed, could be parking all the time? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Xavier, the building is not open to the public, correct?
Right.
Well, I was about that. I mean, our structure has always been, we're open to the public as of us. I'm going there, my employees go there to monitor the property, sell stuff. Everything we sell is online entity. It's still owned by the nonprofit. They have, we still have our meetings there. So in essence, and this is public. We can't bar you from coming to one of our meetings. So I guess in essence, it will be public.
There's,
And more to do, not for today, but, obviously not time for us today. We have our convention in the back of the side of the property. It's just that to be in compliance with, or, not compliance, to be in continuity with the rest of Holman, is the rest of Holman doesn't have, as far as I've seen, no more signs, except for our small block. Unless someone remove those signs before, those things I don't know. I just know that if you come northbound
Okay.
I came back around, no one else had that sign for me.
All right, Mr. Javier, hold on, we've got the city engineer would like to say a word.
Mr. President, if we could get the petitioner to put this in writing. What the board may not know is that we have a plan to restripe for bike lanes from 165th to Douglas. It should be rolling out this year. And so we're sort of changing the entire plan on Hammond Avenue. And I would ask that he put this in writing. You refer this action to both the street department, Department of Public Works, and the engineering department for review and recommendation.
Can you do that? Can you do that, sir?
Yeah, I think that's what I believe that's why the last time, this is kind of like an informal, like, this is what I want to do, what's my procedure now?
Sure.
I know that when this last time, a lot of changes happened, strategically in the city, what I do. So, yeah, I can definitely write the letter. I just need to make sure, my argument is the best. I heard engineering, I heard public works, and then there was a third party.
No, I mean, that's really all it is, but if you just send the letter, describe to the law department, right, to the Board of Public Works and Safety, if you write that letter, the action that the board would take is to refer that to the Department of Public Works and the Engineering Department for recommendation. But you don't have to put that in your letter, just say, this is what I want to do, be clear about what you want to do it, when you want it done. But we have plans to do other things on Hammond Avenue this year that may affect the condition that's happening at that location. So we need a little bit.
That's fine. I mean, I would have bike lanes on that property, because I mean, obviously we have traffic and the goal, I mean, you know, the building, we want to be open up as a full art gallery to the public. It's just, you know, forget about COVID, that kind of shut us down to even want to do it. We couldn't do it even if we did. Public restrictions. Now, since restrictions are lifted, well, let's go back and see what we can do. It's kind of one of the portions.
All right.
From a timeline perspective, what I should anticipate that I'm here, I have to go back to our board that this is what we're doing. Would like a 90-day process to have this discussion, or would it all be?
I would say as soon as you get the letter to the city, it'll probably be on our agenda within the next week or two, and we'll go from there.
Okay, cool beans.
All right.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Button. Anyone else from the public? That'll be, okay, I recommend that we adjourn the meeting. Oh.